Check this out. I've got my Discord running on one side, and on the other side I've got a very innocent-looking Python script. Now just look carefully at what's going to happen when I execute this Python script in my terminal. So I've executed it. And how long has it taken? Maximum 5 seconds, right? But let me show you what I've got on my Discord server. You see, I've got all of your details, your username, your IP address, files inside your home directory, and even some more sensitive things like the contents of the shadow file, which can later be used to get your password. But how did I do that? Well, you're going to find that out in this video. We're going to write a simple script to show you how hackers can easily steal your data in a few seconds with just a simple Python script and a Discord server. So, if you're new here, like this video and subscribe to the channel. Before we break down the Python script, I want to tell you that I'm doing all this in my private authorized environment and not harming anyone. Doing stuff like this on someone else's system is illegal unless you have permission. Anyways, so here is this innocent-looking Python script opened in my Sublime text editor. By the way, it's a very cool text editor. You guys should definitely give it a shot. So, we've used 2 modules in this script. The first is the requests module, which allows us to interact with web servers, send different types of requests, and overall is one of the best for interacting with web apps. We're going to use this to send the output of our commands to the Discord webhook. Discord webhooks work like a server endpoint where we can post data. I'll explain it more later. Our second module is subprocess. Subprocess is a module that allows us to run system commands via a Python script. For example, we can run commands like ls, buddds, and others just by using a Python script and automating the process. So these are the 2 modules we're going to use in this script. If we move on, you'll again see a webhook variable, which will store our webhook URL, which we'll get from Discord. I showed how to get one in the previous video, but I'll show it again for you. Next, we create a dictionary in Python. Yeah, this block, the whole one inside the curly braces, is called a dictionary. This commands dictionary stores our different commands. Just for the purpose of this video, I've added a few basic ones like ifconfig, ls, etc. But you can add more. You can add as many as you want, but don't add too many because it will take the script a long time to execute. Anyways, after this, we start our function. In Python, we use def to define a function. Functions are tiny pieces of code that perform a specific task for us. For example, this run command function, it will run commands for us. Functions are a very good practice because they save us the time and effort of writing the same code again and again. Let's break down this run command function. So this is where we'll use our subprocess module. Whenever we write a function in Python, we start it with def, and after that, we specify our function name. Like in this case, it's run command, but you can change it to anything. If you look inside the parentheses of the run command function, it takes 1 parameter, which is cmd. Parameters are like input provided to a function. In line 17, we start our try except statement. Now, many wouldn't know about these things. I'm not talking about those Python nerds. I'm talking about normal skids like you and me. I myself wasn't familiar with these statements, but after doing some research, I figured out that these statements are used for error handling. We use them where we think an error can happen so it can be managed, and the script doesn't quit. Like in this example, we use the try statement first, and then in the next line, line 18, we make a variable called result, which will store the output of our command. If we break this down a little bit, we're using the check output function from the subprocess module here. This function will execute the command and return the output. It takes arguments like the command we want to run, and after that, we've written shell equals true, which tells Python to run the command through a shell, like bash. The 2 parameters after that are used to send any errors to void and prevent the command from waiting for user input. If we move to the next line, it converts the command output from bytes to a string using the decode function and returns us a clean output. After that starts our except statement. It tells Python that if there's any error while running the command, how to handle it. So if any error occurs, this will return a friendly error message instead of breaking the whole script. Here ends our run command function. We're going to call it in a while because we can't use a function without calling it. After that, we start our Discord function. It takes two parameters, title and content. And again, here we define another dictionary variable called data. It prepares a JSON payload to send to Discord's webhook. This structure uses Discord's embed message format. We set the title of the embed to our title parameter, the description to the output of the command, but only the first 1,900 characters, because Discord can only take 2,000 characters at once. And in the end, we finally use the post function from the requests module, which takes two parameters, our webhook URL and the JSON data we just created in the data variable. Coming to the end of the script, we start our for loop for items inside the commands dictionary. And that's the cool thing about dictionaries. They store data in the form of keys and values. The data on the left of the colon is called the key, and on the right is the value. We can use the key to get the value. We're telling the Python script to go through all the keys inside the commands dictionary, use their value as the command inside our run command function, and then finally use our Discord function to send the data to Discord. So that's it. This was the script. I've tried to break it down clearly and simply for you. I could have just shared the script, but the purpose of the video is not to make you a skid, but a real ethical hacker who actually knows how to read code and create their own tools. So now we can save this and let's move to the further steps. Okay, so the next step is to get a Discord webhook, so we can use it inside our script. You can easily get one. First, create a Discord account and then create a new private server. You'll see different channels there, and you can even create more. But in this case, we're going to use the default general one. Click on the gear icon, then click on Integrations. Now click on Webhooks, and from here you can create a new webhook. Once you've created one, click Copy Webhook URL, and it'll be copied to your clipboard. Now come back to the script and paste it right here, and don't share it with anyone, or you could get trolled. After doing that, you can save and close the file, and our script is ready. By the way, if you need this script, you can check out our guide through the first link in the description. It has code for all of our projects, so make sure to have a look. Anyways, we also need to install those modules in our Kali Linux before we execute the script. You can install them via pip. Just run a simple command, and those modules will be installed in your system. Now, if you want to run this file, just type python3 and the file name. In my case, it's info.py. Your file name might be different. Another thing, if you've got some commands in the script that require sudo, then you won't get the output unless you run the script with sudo permissions. If not, you can just remove those commands from the script. That's even better. Okay, now when you press enter, it'll take a few seconds for the script to execute fully, and you'll see that in our Discord channel, we've started getting everything. You can customize the script accordingly, and you can even use ChatGPT to help with that. So that's it for this video. If you found it useful, hitting subscribe would be a great way to show appreciation. It really motivates us to make even more content like this video, and I'll see you again in the next one.